How to insert a table. In this video, we're going to look at how to create a new table. Let's go ahead and take a look at one and see what it looks like in Drupal. Drupal does a very nice job of creating tables for us. They're really neat, clean, and easy to use, easy to read. One thing I do want to mention about tables is if this is the first time you're creating tables on your own, you might want to go check out the tutorial on About Tables and ADA guidelines, and also on creating headings, captions, and summaries. And that's all ADA information for people that use adaptive or assistive technologies. And very important stuff. Once you get the hang of making tables, they're really not that bad. Now, what I want you to look at is up here we have what's called the caption. And the caption is something that does help with the ADA if you're using a screen reader. If you had vision difficulties, it would read through your web page for you. You wouldn't be seeing the images. So with tables, this is very crucial because it tells people whether or not they should bother to go through the entire table. Can you imagine if you had to go through a table, say two or three sizes larger than this table? There's no reason for it if that's not the information you're looking for. So be descriptive on your caption there. Here we have the heading, what is known as the heading. It'll be a black bar with white text, and that's the top of the the top of the table there. And then you'll notice every other row is either white or gray. This is all to help with readability and usability. And on your tables, you do only get one heading. You cannot create several headings in one table. You're only supposed to create one heading, and that's at the top. If you need more than one heading, if you feel that your table would be easier to read, easier to understand with more than one heading, just make two tables and stack one on top of the other, or one above and one below. Also on Drupal, another thing Drupal does is when you hover over that particular table row, it does light up, which is really nice for usability purposes. Okay, so now that we've looked at a table, let's go ahead and go back to our test page here. And I'm going to go ahead and click on Edit. Now tables, remember your tables are to be used for things like tabular data, things that work well with columns, informational purposes only. They're not for layout purposes and not for inserting graphics or just graphics and things like that. So let's take a look at how to insert a table. It's relatively easy. The icons up here are all of your table icons all the way across here. Now these will light up once you create a table, but to create a new table you just want to click on the Insert Edit Table, and here's the dialog pop-up box, and you want to set how many rows you want. I'm going to go ahead and set, say, 6 rows, and let's say 2 columns. The alignment, this is the page alignment. Where do you want it to sit? On the center, left, or right? Well, our tables are set at 100% automatically, but what that means is it's 100% of the information. It's not 100% of the page. So the table will stretch as wide as the information is, and it will also be what we call responsive, and it will set itself to be as small as cell phone usage all the way up to web page and larger use. You cannot set the border, the width, or the height. Like I said, it's all automatic, and that is for the purposes of responsive web design. Remember, I said that caption is very important, so be sure to click that. Now let's go to the advanced section here. You do want to put in a summary, and I'm going to say that the summary of the table I'm going to create is about Stewart Lake State Park, and it's about the facilities. Oops. Spelling always helps. So there we have the Stewart Lake Park facilities. So that would let somebody know this is hidden in the code, and that would let somebody know if a screen reader was going through, it would help catalog that information for them. And then we'll go back to the advanced here. Now I am going to call my table cell. My caption is going to be the same here. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm sorry, I should do that again. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go ahead and create my table, and then when I create my caption, I will just paste that information in. So here's Insert, Now this looks horrible up here. It's not like it was in Dreamweaver. If you're a Dreamweaver user and you would just kind of grab this bar and stretch it out. You shouldn't do that in Drupal because that does hurt the usability or the readability of the table, and you want to make sure that you keep it so that it self-fills here. So it can be a little bit daunting at first to get started, but if you type in your caption first, that actually makes it a little bit easier. That will open up a little bit more. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to go into that first cell, and I just clicked my cursor in there. Now I have a table that I'm going to bring in. I'll bring this over so you can see it. So here is my caption here. Here is my heading here, and then column 1, column 2. Column 1 here, column 2 here. I'm going to bring this information in. You cannot just copy and paste. Unfortunately, in Drupal, you cannot just copy and paste. Otherwise, you'll bring in a bunch of word stuff too. So I clicked in that first cell, and all I did was do a copy paste in there. You certainly could just type information in if it is a brand new table. I went over to my next cell, and you see how that didn't quite get in there? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make sure that I'm in that second cell. I'm going to use the arrow keys on my table and then paste it in. So sometimes that can be a little bit tricky, but if you use the arrow keys, it's a way for you to navigate around. Can you see how I'm using my arrow keys now? And you can navigate around the table quite easily like that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some information in here, just so that we have some information. And I'm going to put some information. I need to use my arrow key to get over there. And there we go. Now do you see how that table is opening up now? I'm also going to hit my return key just so we have a nice space in there. Now I am going to copy one more row just so you can see how this works. And I apologize for the length of this video, but it's necessary to show you how to use the table properly, or how to build it properly. And there we go. So now we have a table. Let's take a look at this table. Okay, now in the next video what you're going to do is you're going to learn how to create headings and work on the captions a little bit more. But here's the caption here, and then here is the different rows, and then we'll go ahead and we will create we will work on the caption here to make it look a little bit better, and we will work on creating this as a header with a black bar across it, and that's in the next video on summaries, captions, and headings. So please take a look at that video. Again, this actually is much easier than it was in Dreamweaver once you get a table built. It works quite well, and it looks a whole lot better. So I think you'll be happy with it once you get 1 or 2 down. That's it for now.